Escaping. From what? Scrap. Douglas shivered.
Starting off with characters for this set, we of course had to include Douglas, who's the main character of this episode. And then I also included Edward because I wanted to give this set a chance to have the interactions between Douglas and Edward that happened in the episode, because in my opinion, I feel like it sets up the episode beautifully. And then we also get Trevor in this set because Trevor is seen in the opening shot of the episode talking with Edward, and then that's when Douglas puffs by with his heavy train of coal cars.
Come on, Edward. Stop gossiping in the sun when there is work to be done.
And we couldn't forget these two. Here is Oliver the Great Western Engine and then Toad the Brake Van. These two are going to be rescued from scrap by Douglas in this episode.
Well, I'm Oliver, and I'm with my brake van, Toad. We've run out of coal and have no more steam.
Going over the miscellaneous details of this set, I included a couple trees, as you can see. And then we also have the classic Sir Topham Hatt figure, as Sir Topham Hatt is seen at the end of this episode. And then I also have the Archstone Bridge. And so that's also why I wanted to add in some trees here. It's a nice little area for Trevor to hang out. Trevor can always go underneath it if he wants to. And then I also added this bridge and the single stone tunnel, not only for scenery, but it's to give the illusion that Douglas really is traveling across the entire island to get to the place where only the Diesels work, and that is where he finds Oliver and Toad. So that's why I included the Archstone Bridge and the single stone tunnel. And then we also have the useful engine shed. And this is going to represent the works as we see in the episode. And this is where Oliver and Toad can be repaired and repainted in great Western colors. Going over the only piece of rolling stock I included in this set, I included the milk tanker. And I included the milk tanker because I don't exactly know what Douglas was pulling for his midnight goods train. And so at the end of the day, I thought the milk tanker was just a safe choice. Now let's go over the flow of this set and how you can recreate the episode using what I have included. So starting off with the episode, we have Edward and Trevor having their conversation. And then this is where Douglas comes by with his train of coal cars. And that's where the interactions between Edward and Douglas begin.
Scrap, said Edward quietly. Douglas gasped. Don't mention that word. It makes me wheels wobble.
This is also why I have these two tracks right here. So you can have Edward or Douglas on one track as they are having a conversation. And then it also doesn't block the main loop. So I thought it was very convenient to have a second track here for either Edward or Douglas or Oliver and Toad to rest on. And then in the yard here, I also included the T-switch to give all of the engines, Edward, Douglas, Oliver, the freedom to turn around or travel along the set in any direction of which they would like to. And so the story continues where Douglas travels across the island to where only the Diesels work.
He had taken the midnight goods train to a station at a faraway part of the island where only the Diesels work.
And this is where the work shed comes into play. I feel like it represents that scene very nicely. Oliver and Toad are tucked away. And then I also included a building because it is a big yard. There's lots happening. And then I forgot to throw this character in before, but this figure can represent the foreman who stops Douglas, Oliver, and Toad.
Aha, called a foreman. A great Western engine and a brake van, too. You can't take these.
Douglas can rescue Oliver and Toad and get past the foreman who is trying to stop them, and then get back into the main yard.
We're home, cried Douglas. Shh, said his driver. There are the works. We'll find a place for Oliver.
Sir Topham Hatt can find out that Douglas has saved Oliver and Toad.
Yes, indeed. And thanks to you, Douglas, he is now at our works. Oliver is just what we need for Duck's branch line.
And then they can be repaired and repainted in great Western colors.
Now, Oliver and Toad are mended and painted in full great Western colors.
But that is going to conclude this custom story set. I feel like it does a pretty good job of representing the episode Escape from Season 3 of Thomas and Friends. I also just feel like it's a very good Thomas and Railway set in general. We get plenty of switches, the useful engine shed, the arched stone bridge, the single stone tunnel, the work shed or good shed or whatever you want to call it, a piece of rolling stock along with all of these characters, and then also the fatty himself.
Well, here he is, said a voice. Now what's this all about?
But in all seriousness, I didn't mean to insult the controller of the railway like that, but I actually had a lot of fun building this set. For how small it is, there's a lot going on. There's lots of characters and destinations, and so that's why I think it does its job so well. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know how I did on recreating the episode Escape into a custom Thomaston Railway story set. Also, let me know if there are any other episodes that you want to see me create into a Thomaston Railway story set. So without further ado, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.